Good morning, children. How are you all? Hope you all might be fine and safe. So, today, children, in English, we are going to read chapter 8 Chips, that is written by Deb Scott Lorick. So, first, we will know the word meanings of the chapter. So, the first one is reveal. So, meaning of reveal is show. Then, second is peel, that is remove. Fuss, an unnecessary show of excitement. Sumptuous, meaning is delicious or tasty. And wafted, passed gently through the air. Tempt, make them want to do something. That is tempting someone. That means wanting that the person will do something. Chunk, big pieces. Shuddered, trembled with fear. That means shaking with fear. Or shook with fear. Dunked, dipped into. Flavor, taste and smell of the food. So these are the word meanings which we will learn. Okay, you have to learn these word meanings. Now let us see the story. So there once lived a small family in a faraway country. So as the name suggests, children, chips. That means here we will talk about the chips. And you know what is chips? Chips, I think, is favorite of all the children. The children, they like to eat chips, whether it is potato chips, banana chips. Okay, so this only we will see in this chapter about the chips. So there once lived a small family in a faraway country. So in a faraway country, in a distant country, there lived a small family. So the country was at war and there was almost no food for its people. So this country, this faraway country, was at war and there was almost no food for its country. So it means that there was fight going on in this country, or there was war going on in this country, and due to the war there was almost no people were suffering from lack of food. So the poor family also went hungry. So the poor family which lived in this country, it also was not getting food and it became hungry. It went hungry. One day early in the morning, two foreign soldiers, a part of the army, had occupied their country, knocked on their door. So early in the morning, one day what happened? Two foreign soldiers, they had come and knocked at the door. So what is a part of the army had occupied their country? It means that when there is war between two countries, then what happens? The country that wins, okay, the winner country, what it does? It sends an army to control and rule the other country. So the winner, what it will do? It is going to rule the other country. So they pushed a sack into mother's hand and asked her to make them chips for their lunch. So what these soldiers they did? The soldiers, they had given a sack into mother's hand. They gave a sack into mother's hand. So what is sack? Sack is a bag made of jute. Okay, a big bag made of jute. In that they had put the potatoes. Okay, sack into mother's hand and asked her to make them chips for their lunch. And then they said that now make chips for us. So what are chips? Long pieces of deep fried potato. So then what they did? They thrust a sack to mother. That means they gave the sack to the mother. Make some chips for us, said the dark-haired soldier. So there were two soldiers, as you can see. The one soldier is having dark hair and the other is having brown hair, or his hair is not as dark as the first one. So what he is saying, the dark-haired soldier, he is saying that make chips, some chips for us. Have the chips ready by then? We will be back at noon. So he is saying that we will be back at noon. Then he is asking that are the chips going to be ready by then? And with that, the soldiers turned around and headed off towards the neighboring farm. And then, after giving this a sack, they had gone. And they said that, okay, till we come back by noon, what do you have to do? You just make the chips ready for us. And they went to the neighboring farm. By this time, the entire family came scurrying down the stairs to see what was happening. So, by this time, what happened? The entire family was not present at that time. So, the entire family they have come quickly. Okay, they have come they moved quickly with short and quick steps, and they were worried what is happening over there downside, why are the soldiers over there? Okay, and they came to see what was happening. So what are chips? Mother asked them. Now mother is asking, mother is not knowing about chips, she has heard for the first time. So she said, what are chips? Mother asked them, but no one had ever heard of such a thing. So she's asking to the family members also, okay, if anyone might be knowing what is chips, but no one had ever heard of such a thing. After the soldiers left, what happened? How are we going to make chips? Cried mother. Now mother is saying, oh, how are we going to make chips? We don't even know what they are. So she is saying that we are not knowing, any one of us is not knowing what is chips. Okay, what are chips? Then how I am going to make that? Shouldn't we open the sack first? Then she said that, okay, let us open the sack first and see what is inside that. The children pointed out, the children said this. Mother hurriedly opened the sack to reveal big, muddy, white, fleshy new potatoes. So what happened? Mother was in a hurry. Okay, she was hurried and she opened to see what was there inside. And up the sack to reveal big, muddy, white, fleshy new potatoes. So here, mother is opening the sack to show that, okay, what is this? Big, muddy, white, fleshy new potatoes are inside this. The family gasped in amazement. Now what happened? The family, they are relaxed now. They are taking deep breath and they are amazed, very surprised to see that. And excited also. We don't even know. Okay. Then they had not seen so many potatoes since the beginning of the war. So since the beginning of the war, they had not seen so many potatoes as we have seen. We are knowing that what happened in this. The country is at war and they lack food. So this family has also not seen so many potatoes as they have seen now in the sack. Now Grandma spoke up. Don't be silly, she said. We know how to cook potatoes. We will peel and okay. Now Grandma, she was quiet. Now it's her turn to speak. Now what she is saying? She is saying, don't be silly. It is not that first time we have seen potatoes. We know how to cook potatoes. And then she said, we will peel. We will take out the cover and boil them for the soldiers. And then she said that now we are going to boil these potatoes after peeling them, after taking out the skin. Then we will make a soup from the peelings for ourselves. Now she is saying that, okay, from the peelings what we will do? We will make soup for ourselves. Each child washed and peeled a handful of potatoes. Now work of the children started. What they are doing? They are washing and peeling a handful of potatoes. So sharing is going on. All of them, all the family members, they are engaged in the work. So come on children, let's begin. And the children, they started doing their work. When that was done, now the peeling has been done. You can see the potatoes without the skin. So when peeling was done, Grandma hung a big cooking pot and poured in water and the potatoes. So what Grandma is doing? She's hanging the pot, a big cooking pot, and then poured some water in that, and along with that she had put the potatoes, and she built a fire in the grate, and now she is making building a fire. Downstairs she has built the fire to uh, uh, to make this pot hot. When the pot will be hot, the water will start boiling, then only cooking will be done. Grandma hung a big cooking pot and poured in water and the potatoes. As you can see, water is being poured. The whole family sat around the open fire watching the water bubble and boil. So now, as you can see here, the pot is being heated and the water is being boiled inside, and the whole family is sitting around the fire, open fire, and watching the water bubble. So bubble started coming from the water and inside the water, and what happened? It started boiling. Water started boiling. Now they were wondering why the soldiers make a big fuss for this. So those soldiers make a big fuss for this, the youngest child said thoughtfully. So they were wondering that only this was the work. Okay, and then why the soldiers they were making so much big fuss? Why they are not able to explain that? Okay, why they can't tell what was the thing? And then the youngest child, he was saying that thoughtfully. So he was also thinking, wondering why it was like that. Boiled potatoes are not so special, said the eldest. Now then, who is the eldest among them says that it is not that the boiled potatoes are potatoes, they are special, they are not so special. Then they started worrying. Now they started worrying that okay, it's not special. Then what happened? Let's add some herbs, said Grandma, putting some into the pot. So they started adding herbs, berries, mushrooms in that to make it special. Why? Because they were only boiling the potatoes. Okay, they were only boiling the potatoes. Then they understood then that only add boiling the potatoes is not that they are going to make such a big fuss for that. It might be something special. So they started putting some herbs, berries, and mushrooms in that to make it a little bit different. Add a few mushrooms, said Grandma. Of course, cried Mother, and sent the children to the forest to collect the juiciest mushrooms and berries. And then the grandma, what she started? She said that now add few mushrooms. And then the mother said, yes, we'll add. And then she sent the children to the forest to collect the juiciest mushrooms and berries. And the children, they went to collect. Everyone added a few more ingredients and then a few more. So now what happened? Now the dish is going to become delicious. So they are adding more ingredients in that. And first a few more ingredients, then a few more ingredients, more they are adding to make it a little different until they have had a pot of delicious smelling stew. Now the smell started coming. It was smelling very delicious. Okay. The sumptuous smell wafted the wafted around the little kitchen. So, as the dish is being cooked, okay, the potato is being cooked. Then what happened? It smelled very nicely, very nice. The delicious smell was coming, and that smell, due to that smell, that passed through gently through the air around the little kitchen, and through the whole kitchen was filled with the delicious smell. The children's bellies rumbled and their eyes grew wide with hunger. Now children's bellies, what happened? It started making a low and deep sound. As sometimes what happens when we feel hungry, we may find a noise inside the stomach. Okay, inside the stomach we may find some a little bit of noise. So what is that? That only started in the children's bellies, and their eyes grew wide with hunger, and then these children, they were feeling hungry because from many days this type of delicious food was not cooked. So thank you everyone. Have a good day. Read this chapter nicely.